The College Basketball Experience Preview and Picks episode for Sunday, December 18th on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET's now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET is what you need to win. Sign up today. Bet $100. Get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. State restrictions apply. We're also brought to you by the SGPN Bowl Challenge. I know bowl games are starting, but it's not too late for you. $250 in cash and a $250 gift card is up for grabs exclusively on the SGPN app, which is free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. So grab that thing today. And remember, folks, to let it ride.
This is Martin Cleese, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo-hoo. Welcome to the College Basketball Experience Preview and Picks episode for December 18th. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby's Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Oh! Sometimes you press the button and it doesn't play. The music doesn't play. But I'm still happy, stress-free, winning day. If you're wondering where Moneyline Mac is, well, he had to move, and like I suspected, perhaps his internet connection was a little bit Metro PCS. All right? I am joined by, we were planning to do three. We were going to have the three-man booth tonight, but it's down to two. It's okay. We gave him the night off. Moving. Who wants to move a bunch of shit and then do a podcast and do some work after that anyway? You know what I mean? He needs a day off there. I am joined by my co-host. Oh, man. We started the College Basketball Experience. Former JMU Duke defensive back. Give it up for the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh. Well, man.
How are you, buddy? I know you got the nightclub in the back there. I know there's definitely a stripper pole.
The nightclub is rocking, and I got some.
Yes.
I definitely got some other volume going on here that my computer is sending me through these earphones. So I'm basically listening to two people at the same time. I'm doing some research here, trying to figure it out. Technical difficulties to start us off here.
Don't tell me you're listening to in the club at the same time as because I've always wanted to speak over that nice instrumental. Buddy, what a fucking day we had upon us. It was a winning day. The chat is rolling. I see it just absolutely lighting up like the fucking Christmas tree. I guess we'll start off with this. We're gonna do our game. We're gonna recap game balls, and then we'll pick tomorrow's action. But in case the audience, a lot of the audience, I feel like newcomers. They weren't here years past. NC Nick, Patty C, and myself. Actually, Moneyline Mac. This is his first year of doing it with us. But Patty C here is a big Virginia Cavalier fan. So, I feel like we should open up with talking about your I took your Wahoos, and I got to be honest, it was short-sighted.
I was nervous about it. Yeah.
Well, I didn't think about how bad Houston needed it, knowing the out-of-conference schedule, knowing that they're about to enter AAC play, and you don't have that many heavyweights. they needed it much more, and they responded and got it done here. What'd you make of this game?
I mean, what I made of it was that it was clear that Houston was more athletic, and it was clear that they were shooting the lights out. Sasser, impact. I guess he was only 3 for 10, but the ones he made from the 3-point line, the ones he made stood out as pretty clutch. And so overall, they just kept drilling clutch shots, and every time Virginia would mount a comeback, Houston had the answer. So a nice game. They're a good-looking team, sitting there at 11-1 now. Obviously, a clash of 2 top 5s there. That you assume that puts Houston back in the top 2 or 3 at this point.
Well, you need some teams to lose, but yes. I mean, besides UVA, yeah, and I think part of the thing. I don't know. First off, Marcus Sasser's a very good player. I'm old enough where I remember watching. I believe it was his uncle that used to be nasty on Texas Tech in the mid '90s. Jason Sasser was his name. But Houston needed this one, and I had so many games on at once, and I was focusing on this game for the most part in the second half. The first half, UVA I feel like had a double-digit lead early on in this game, but they blew it. They blew it, and I feel like that was a common theme with a lot of the games today: double-digit leads blown. And I mean, what happened there? I remember seeing I think it was 14-1 to start the game off, right?
I'm gonna check the game cast and see. I mean, it looks like UVA was up 12-7, 15-9. It was 15-9, 9-2, 8-0. They were up 8-0.
Okay. I was thinking, oh man, there we go. We're gonna clamp down defensively and get that dub, but. I'll be honest. I'm actually, now that I think about it, even though I didn't bet this game, I'm actually glad Houston won, which I know you probably dislike, but I think a lot of times that costs them on Selection Sunday when they don't have the marquee win. So I think Houston's well deserving, assuming they win the AAC of what they get there. What's that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great win. Who were the guys that they were missing last year? What was Sasser? Sasser one of them?
Sasser was one of them. I think it depends on the time of the season. I believe last year Tremont Mark, they were missing as well. And I even would want to say in the tournament, maybe I'm off here, but I thought Jamal Shedd might have got injured late in the tournament, if memory serves me correct. I could be talking out of my ass.
Yeah, all three double-digit scores today. I mean, that talk about dominated by their starting lineup. I guess 64 of their points came from their starting 5, and then only 5 points off the bench. So let's hope they stay healthy because they're obviously a super effective starting lineup, but I don't know how much depth they have.
Yeah, I don't know, but Virginia just locks you down. So that game,
Clark's a beast.
I saw him pick up. He almost rallied a comeback there. They were getting close late in that game, battling back. The other ones, and I'm going to start off with the games that were on home campuses because, God damn it, that's the way college basketball should be. All right, I like these home crowds rocking. I locked up the Kansas Jayhawks. Boom, they got it done against the Indiana Hoosiers. Easy cash, not even a sweat. You're not just going to go into the fog and get a dub. Come on now, easy money.
What was the final? 84-6. Yeah, they were basically in control that whole game. Grady Dick, 20 points. Is he the best white American basketball player in the world? Probably at this point.
I don't know. But white people were set back 100 years today if you watch college football because Jackson State's an HBCU, right? They have a few white guys on that roster. One of them was in the starting lineup today. Or I shouldn't say the starting lineup, but he was playing with the game on the line. And Deion Sanders' son, Shedeur Sanders, who had a great game, at a pivotal point in the game, runs a little play action on the goal line, throws to the only white guy on the field, wide open. drops it, and they lose the next play. So, I mean, look, I was just like, damn, come on, man. Come on. Where you got to realize the circumstances here, right? It's not just you dropping a touchdown. You are the only white guy on the field. Oh, man. Yeah, Grady Dick's a baller, though. Grady Dick is a baller. I want to talk about, well, I ate shit on a lock that I feel really, really unfortunate about. Missouri wins 68-66 against UCF. This was in Florida. This was not at UCF's campus. This game. Oh, man. First off, UCF blows a double-digit lead twice. It looks like they're going to escape. I had my ticket was -1. So I'm like, at least I'm going to push. They're up by 1 with the ball. They miss on the final possession with like 4 seconds left. Everyone's running around. It's like a mad dash for the ball. Missouri gets it up to half court, slips on the ground, but like kind of pushes it over to who was it? Because he's the Milwaukee transfer. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. DeAndre Golston. And DeAndre Golston shoots like a 40-footer from in the middle of the court and banks it in for the win. Fucking brutal. That is a brutal loss. I'm just sitting there like, this is not going to be a good day. Turns out it was a good day, but fuck. I mean,
Missouri,
that Dennis Gates, man. How about that hire? Yeah, how about that hire? This is year 1. You know, he brings in some of his guys from Cleveland State with him. He also killed it in the portal, getting Golston from Milwaukee, getting Noah Carter from Northern Iowa, Nick Honor from Clemson, and 10-1. And shout out to Dennis Gates. I'm a fan.
Gotta be cracking the top 25 come rankings, come the next rankings, right?
And that's a big win because UCF, even worse now for UCF fans is like your 3 losses are by like a combined 6 points. You're almost undefeated. Shout out to, but I lost money on that one. And then I lost money. I ended up betting Shaheen Holloway and Seton Hall -2. They had a double-digit lead. Once again, like I said, it was kind of the theme on the bets that I lost was like, man, you get this double-digit lead and you're like, fuck. I'd rather actually be down 8, most of the game because I feel like we're going to have a way of pulling this off. Getting that double-digit lead, I was eating shit left and right. This game was fantastic. I know NC Nick tweeted out that this was one of his favorite games of the day. This was a great classic. Dude, this was a classic Big East game. Like, down the stretch, I really thought Ed Cooley, I don't want to say, I guess in this game particularly, because I think Shaheen Holloway is a damn good coach. But I think in this game particularly, down the final 5 minutes of the game, I think Ed Cooley outcoached. They did some great things with the high and low. It was just a well put together, good halftime adjustments by Ed Cooley. And Providence gets the win. What a fucking nice win. I mean, they lose everybody. They lose everyone from last year. Cooley, and here they are. I mean, not everybody. I know that Jared Bynum is back, but a lot of that team is transfers, and it's working again. So
what was it? Yeah. What was the special thing? They were pretty. I feel like Cooley was doing something special last year. I'm trying to remember what it was in particular, but obviously
I can tell you they were winning close games. They were in a lot of close games a year ago. Now I know Clark's in there in the chat, and he's right that they got 2 easy buckets on flex cuts exactly, and 2 easy buckets at very critical times. Great fucking game though. Great fucking game.
Providence 38% from the 3-point land. Seton Hall just 22. So that's a difference right there down the stretch.
Oh, for sure. You look at I think there was a couple big situations where Alamir Dawes had open looks for 3, just couldn't knock them down. But I will say that the Friar defense stepped up in the second half as well, man. So awesome win for Providence. I'm a big Ed Cooley fan, so I'd like to see that. I mean, I like Holloway too, but I as a kid, I liked Providence a lot. So yeah. I kind of have a little bit of like a
special place for Ed Cooley in your heart.
Even though I bet on Seton Hall, I'm a fucking mess over here. Wake Forest got rolled by Rutgers. I apologize. This one at the rack. Patty C, you're used to staring at a few things in the rack. You can get some distractions, right?
You can definitely get distracted when you're, dialed in at the rack.
At the rack. As Rutgers rolls, Steve Peichel needed that after he got fucked in Columbus on that bullshit call. As Rutgers continues to roll,
where do they stand? They're middle of the pack, Big Ten.
They're
really
they're
not
a good
that
team.
far.
They're a pretty good team. They're better than what I thought they would be after losing a couple key guys from their team a year ago. I think Rutgers is better than what I thought they would be. And Wake Forest, last year, Wake Forest had a good record, but once again, they had their resume wasn't great. Well, Wake Forest has been able to barely skate by Utah Valleys and Appalachian States. I know me and you were watching the App State Wake game in the past week. App kind of deserved to win that game, in my opinion. I thought App was kind of the better team. So,
they won on a buzzer beater, right, Wake?
But they gave up the ball. They had the ball. Like it was just a silly execution down the stretch. Rutgers, though, impressing me because I kind of thought this was going to be a step. They had to take a step back to move forward. I thought it would be this year.
Has the entire Big Ten taken a step back? Because taking a look at the conference standings, outside of Purdue, who's obviously undefeated in number one, every single team in the conference has at least two non-conference losses. Illinois, I guess, is the only one that's just 0-2 in conference, 8-3 overall. But every other team is got at least two losses, and most of them are in non-conference play. So, I don't know if that's
it's actually better than what I thought it would be. And I thought the Big Ten was taking a big step back this season with key players, leaving. But I actually think it's better than what I thought it would be. Nebraska's better than I thought they would be. Rutgers is better.
It's still solid. It's still a solid conference, top to bottom, but there's just not that elite team outside of Purdue. It feels like there's a pretty big drop off after Purdue.
We'll see though, because I'm intrigued to see, and yes, the Big Ten's had their struggles in the NCAA tournament lately, but it'll be interesting to see Michigan's progression through the season. It'll be interesting to see Illinois. Indiana. I think Indiana, they lost today, but I mean, obviously the NCAA tournament's in neutral sites somewhat. They're still a pretty talented roster, so.
Yeah, and Ohio State obviously could have had a huge win today.
Should have won that game.
Yeah, they were right there. Yeah.
I got to talk about my play. I took the Zags in Bama. I know that wasn't in Tuscaloosa, but that was in Birmingham. That is the game the Zags needed. They win 100-90. This is a revenge spot from when Alabama went to Seattle last year and beat Gonzaga. Who'd you take in this one?
This was a good game. I'd have to double check and see who I took on the let me go check our website. But obviously 10-point the game was closer than that. 10 points doesn't do it justice. This was a fight. I mean, Gonzaga holding a close lead for most of it, but obviously pulling away at the end. Timmy doing a great job.
Yeah. Had a monster game. What, he had 30 and 10, I feel like.
I think 29 and 10, yeah.
Yeah, he had a big game, and then obviously Brandon Miller continues to look like the top pick in the draft, perhaps. I feel like he had 34 or something like that. But the Zags needed that because the Zags hadn't looked great this season to me. I know they somehow got that win on that aircraft against Michigan State somehow, and they beat Kentucky. But overall, the Zags had kind of, coming with bringing everyone back, Strother, Timmy, and then getting Smith in the portal. everyone thought, oh man, this is the year they could do it, and they still could, but we hadn't seen any signs of that really. This is a good step. This is a good step here.
I mean, they have lost some seriously like talented players. I think that people were just expecting a lot of these guys, these young guys. I mean, obviously outside of Timmy, to show up and play great basketball, but it's tough to. I mean, who was the point guard 2 years ago? Now I'm drawing a blank on him.
Suggs,
and then
Holmgren.
Holmgren, and then the gunner that went to the Wizards. God, I'm drawing a blank on all these. So rusty. Yeah. Trying to get back into basketball mode here.
But yeah, I mean, but they still brought back a lot, man. They brought back a lot, and they've had their struggles, despite being good, if that makes sense. Obviously, they weren't terrible, but they've had their struggles
Corey
despite
Kispert,
being
that's
good.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
7-3. Yeah, big win, 7-3. They were ranked 15 coming into the game. Obviously beating number 4 Alabama. You figure that might shoot them back in the top 10, but they would be the only team in the top 10 with 3 losses. So maybe not quite there yet, but a big win for sure.
St. John's took care of Florida State, and this is one that Moneyline Mac I think locked up. I wasn't as foolish to lock it up, but I thought the line made no sense. So I thought we were on the right side of this. However, St. John's wins by 14, and Florida State continues to be just absolute ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's happening.
The ACC in general remains absolute ass. I mean, I guess you got to give Virginia Tech credit, and Duke, I suppose. But outside of that, Miami is sneaky. Miami's sitting there at 25 with an 11-1 record coming into today.
But they were down to St. Francis today for a lot of that game. I had that on in the studio, and St. Francis had a lead, I want to say, like probably 60% of that game. And Miami pulled away. I know they ran it up to make it look I mean, St. Francis sucks. So
yeah.
I came away actually with more concern about the Miami Hurricanes today than before the day started. I hope you guys cashed in. What's that?
Florida State 3-10. Not what they had in mind coming into the season.
Yeah. I mean, that's a talented roster. I know they had some injuries, but fuck, I don't think anyone thought they'd be that bad. Hope you guys listened to me on the Charlotte 49ers as they housed Monmouth. Yes. I had a winning night. I hope you listened to me with Sam Houston State -3 against Texas State. Boom. Let's go. Like I said, it started out a little tough. Like first set of games, I was like, I don't know, I know, a horrible night, but hey, good things happen. I know Moneyline Mac locked up Cornell plus 9.5, I think it was, and I know fans were talking about this in the chat. I can't believe you guys didn't cover this game because Cornell was up big on Syracuse. So I thought at least you're going to cover. I expected Syracuse to battle back at home, but I did not think
Cornell was getting 9.5.
Yeah, and they were up a lot of that game. Syracuse wins by 15. Brutal for the Big Red backers. Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. And Mississippi State, how about Mississippi State? They hang on. They had to battle back. Nichols was up a decent amount of this game. And Mississippi State battles back. Chris Jans remains undefeated in Starkville. Shout out to what he's doing. That was a great hire. I love that hire. The second I saw them that land Chris Jans from New Mexico State, I said, oh, this is going to work out. Even though you shouldn't be sweating out. Yeah, you shouldn't be sweating out a 2-point win against Nichols, but at least you got the dub. Survive in advance.
They're undefeated too. That'll probably they're going to be creeping up into the top 10 here shortly. Mississippi State, SEC actually is the SEC the best conference in college basketball right now?
No.
I mean, they got
Big 12.
What we got?
Big 12.
The number 4, the number 6, the number 10, 13, 17, 19.
Oh, well, that's ESPN. That's ESPN's tie-ins. You can never pay attention. If you're just looking at the top 25, you got to understand the sham that is college athletics, all right? I love college football and college basketball as much as anybody, but they do this shit with no logic. Virginia Tech being 24th today or this past week makes no fucking sense. You could go one by one. They do this to build TV ratings. They do it in football. They do it in basketball. I know Lute Olson, famous for talking about the East Coast bias. They never chart the West Coast teams. And I grew up on the East Coast, but I believe in that. I believe much in football and much in basketball that's accurate. I really do.
Well, I agree completely. And obviously, I don't know, switching gears to football, how we saw the Incarnate Word fumble yesterday. Get reviewed for about 5 seconds, and then they confirmed that it was not a fumble or that it was a clear recovery when the only clear recovery was by the Incarnate Word player. I think that's because North Dakota State is an attractive team from a rating standpoint, and I think they especially at the FCS level, if ESPN is going to be involved, that's something where they're completely willing to just right in your face.
That call was
they don't think enough people.
That's the worst call of the season. That's the worst call of the season. I don't know how
they.
I don't know how they. It's one thing it's one thing to say the play stands, but to say it's confirmed, I don't know what the fuck they were watching.
Pretty ridiculous.
I
do feel like and I know that happens, but let me ask you this: does ESPN have a contract with the Big 12 in basketball, or is the Big 12 negotiating with Fox or elsewhere? Or
the Big 12 has they are currently with ESPN and but they're about to be with Fox, right? I think that's the thing.
So you think ESPN is proactively propping up their league, the SEC, a little bit in basketball as well?
I mean, look, I just feel like the name brands. I don't think it's 100% like conference based, but we see it with Duke all the time. That there's certain years where Duke's teams just aren't the same, right? You're just like then they get that Notre Dame love in football, where you're just like,
totally.
I mean, I can remember the years where Notre Dame was fucking terrible, and you're sitting there like they got no guys. I'm talking like early 2000s, Ty Willingham, and you're like, how the fuck are they ranking them at number 15? They're sitting there like 6-4. They would lose to anybody, it's just for TV ratings, man. It's a sham. It's a pyramid. It's all a pyramid scheme at the end of the day. The only good thing is in college basketball, you have a 68 team tournament that fixes it all. So sham it all you want, but let's talk more games here. Carolina. Oh man. Pete Nance. I mean, this might be the play of the season for them. This might be the play of the season for the North Carolina Tar Heels, because if you lose this game, they would have gone to 7-5, and they're already not ranked, but they have Michigan on deck, then at Pitt, and all of a sudden Pitt's looking solid, and then Wake Forest, and you're sitting there saying, where the hell are the for sure wins on this schedule? I'm telling you, that could be a critical win. Pete Nance hits a game winner, or a buzzer beater to send it to overtime, and at overtime, the Tar Heel, and I took North Carolina. I know Moneyline Mac locked it up. Shout out to him for getting that done. But wow, what a game they had there at MSG between the two. Did you catch this game?
A little bit of it. Armando Bacot, 28-15, sitting there at 16-11 on the season. How is this guy still being projected as a second rounder, mid-second rounder? I don't know, but I guess that's the NBA right now. But I tell you what, in college basketball, he's got value. Absolutely dominating this game.
I don't really watch the NBA. I mean, I don't watch much NBA, but the game is small ball it seems like in the NBA. It seems like bigs are almost irrelevant these days. I mean, there's some I think that factor in, but the days of your classic bigs, you watch Purdue and you see Zach Edey, and you're like, this dude, I don't even know that he's gonna. I mean, I would imagine an NBA roster will probably take him, maybe.
Yeah.
Deep on that bench, maybe. I don't fucking know, though. Today's NBA, it sucks. Anyway, next up, Marshall just walloped Toledo. George Mason. How about Mason? Mason wins by 6 against Tulane. They were 5-point dogs. I gave that away last night on the show, saying ride that on the money line. Ride that on the money line.
Mason winners of 5 in a row now after starting 2 and 4. So a nice 5-game win streak. This one a big one, and then they've got some winnable games, some tough games coming up actually, but a couple winnable ones, and then they hit a tough little stretch here. So we're gonna see what Mason's really made out of in the next month here.
Yeah. Grambling, I locked up Grambling plus 18 against Virginia Tech.
You did.
I ate shit.
And the hit?
I ate it.
Oh,
I ate a gigantic shit sandwich here. Virginia Tech, Mike Young continues.
I actually locked up Tech on that one.
Really? Grambling's good. I mean, Grambling had wins over Colorado and who was it they beat besides that? Was it Arizona State? No. It was Vanderbilt. So I was like, dude, they're gonna give them a game. Virginia Tech's probably not gonna be paying attention. Not the case. As Grambling gets rolled on by the Hokies there in Blacksburg. I ate shit with Furman also. Furman and Stephen F. Austin, I laid a big number there. 6, I think it was. Furman only wins by 2, and even with that, they were down 3 with like 10 seconds left. Mike Bothwell hit a 3 to go to to tie it up, and then they somehow got it done.
Almost all of us were on Furman there. But
yeah.
Still got the win.
I just want to key on a couple more things. San Francisco, UNLV was undefeated. UNLV blows a double-digit lead. San Francisco wins 75-73. Moneyline Mac locked that up. I rode with the Dons, but I didn't bet it. So shout out to Moneyline Mac. I did hit on Temple. If you follow the SGPN app, Temple plus 8.5. Never a doubt. They lose by 8. Let's go Owls, baby. Let's go Owls. And then my East Carolina Pirates. I mean, Gigi Jackson, number 1 recruit in the nation, goes to South Carolina. Look, you might get the number 1 recruit in the nation, but when you play against the East Carolina Pirates, it's just not going to work because
I was the only one among the 6 of us that didn't take the Pirates. Two locked it. Who locked it up? It was
might have been
Fameland and Matt.
I bet it.
And
okay, I bet it, but I just didn't. Sometimes like he talked me into betting that yesterday on the show. I just didn't update the picks page. Utah BYU was a fucking great game. BYU almost blew a 17-point lead. I think Utah got it all the way down to 2. This was in Provo, the holy war on the hardwood. And then BYU got it. They needed that win. That's a great thing about tonight too. The WCC, Gonzaga's win against Bama, San Francisco's win against UNLV, and then BYU taking down Utah. WCC with a huge night tonight. And because Utah's been playing damn good this year, man. And I still kind of was impressed with them. That place was bananas tonight. So UCLA takes down Kentucky. Can we talk about this?
UCLA, then they destroy them, right?
Well, we should talk about this because me and NC Nick, while I was on that trip in Wilmington, North Carolina, catching the Seahawks a week ago, a lot of friends of mine that are Kentucky fans, they want Calipari out. They do. Like, first off, he had the feud with Stoops in the offseason saying they're a basketball school.
Which they are, but anyway.
They are a basketball school. But Stoops is getting them, bowling every fucking year now. But I think when you look at Calipari, he's only won what? It's been a while since they won a natty. And look, they didn't make the tournament, what was that, 2 years ago? They weren't going to make it the COVID year, I think, if memory serves me correct. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. I don't have this off the top of my head. But they lose to St. Peter's in the first round last year. And then you can pull up the schedule. It seems like every key game this year they've lost.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they beat Michigan in London. All right. But the Gonzaga game, the Michigan State game, they lose. I don't know. But here's what I was saying. Me and NC Nick were talking about this. Georgetown. Georgetown's got money. Georgetown's got money. Call John. Look, I think Calipari, I don't think they want to fire him because, I think they want to fire him. It's almost like the Satterfield situation at Louisville. Yeah. I don't think his results, he's too good of a recruiter, and they still have winning seasons. So, I don't think you want to fire him, but at the same time, a change of scenery would be nice. He might be feeling the pressure from the fans.
Yeah, if he's over it, I don't know why he would be, but if he wants to be proactive and make the jump, and Georgetown can come up with a huge chunk of money. He's 63 years old. He's still got plenty of gas in the tank, you would think.
Dude,
the question is,
Georgetown
would
needs
Georgetown
life, man.
go for him? Yeah, they do.
Dude, they would take Georgetown. They've been stupid, but at this point, are you kidding? Who else is Georgetown going to go? They couldn't get a bigger name. There's no excitement around that program. They offered free tickets a week ago to the Siena game, and not even that. They didn't even pack the crowd. It's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah.
Well, I was saying Pitino, and I know that his son was a journalist.
74 years old. Pitino's
he is getting old. But if you get Coach Cal, obviously, if you're Georgetown, I think you go for that.
Dude, I keep hearing this Rick Pitino to Georgetown.
Yeah,
someone explained to me, you got to give him a 2-year deal because he's gonna have fucking Alzheimer's and you know what I mean? What are you doing? Calipari, come in there. They should have went for. I said this last year, before Thad Matta was employed. I said they should open up the checkbook on Thad Matta. No, they're not doing it. They didn't do it. They said Patrick Ewing another year. I get it. You want to be loyal to your boy, but he sucks. Let's call a spade.
I don't fault it when the best player in your program's history, arguably, and kind of the ultimate icon of your program, you're going to give him a longer leash,
No,
Jim Boeheim, by the way, 78 years old. So I don't want to hear it about Rick Pitino being too old.
And he should be fired.
He probably should be.
I talked to every Syracuse fan. They want him out. You just can't fire him because what he did. Look, Ewing never deserved a head coaching job. What was he, the Bobcats assistant? They suck.
Yeah.
You only got that because you're an assistant. And do NBA coaches even fucking coach anymore? You just sit there and just drink soda and watch a basketball game. You know what I mean? Davidson.
Hey, what's that? Speaking of NBA coaches not meaning anything, I'm sitting here a Spurs fan, and they're stinking almost dead last again, and they have one of the greatest coaches in NBA history. That's a league where the coaches become completely irrelevant. If Greg Popovich, has no impact on the team, it's the game is just completely based.
Part of the reason that that I've checked out. I told you about this. Kelvin Sampson. I had a great quote. Kelvin Sampson. I want to say he was with the Rockets. Might have been the Spurs, but I think it was the Rockets.
Yeah. This
is 4 or 5 years ago, and he tells maybe 3 or 4. He said this quote in the past 2 years, but I'm assuming that he's referring to 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, man, I need you to come out. He's on the Rockets. He's telling the big man, I need you to come out and set this pick. And he goes, no. And he's like, what do you mean, no? I'm the coach, right?
Come out and set the screen at the top of the key. Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm staying down there for my rebounds. The problem is the players have all the power. You can't have a successful product when that's like that. You got to have balance.
That's unbelievable. You can't even tell your players what to do. Because the guy said, what was it? His incentives were based on his rebound stats on his contract.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck that. I'm getting paid, dude.
Okay, well, what am I? Dude, I read this in the LA Times in the past year or two when Frank Vogel was the coach of the Lakers. It was a pivotal point in the game, and LeBron has 5 fouls. So he's like, LeBron, I need you out of the game. We're going to rest you on defense for the next couple possessions. We'll sub you in for some offense and call timeouts. And LeBron goes, no. Right? He goes, no, I'm playing. right? And Frank Vogel just goes, okay. I mean, what is your job title at that point? He's trying to strategize.
Advisor.
And it's like, are you even a fucking basketball coach? I don't even understand what you're supposed to do. Anyway, Davidson covers against Purdue. A&M covers against Memphis. Clemson. I hope you guys cashed in on my Clemson Tigers -2. Let's go. Kansas State also housed. How about Jerome Tang and the Kansas State Wildcats? Comes over from Baylor, long-time assistant with Scott Drew. 10-1 are the K-State Wildcats. Watch
Getting
out.
it done.
Watch out. I got to admit, I ate shit on Butler, and UConn continues to look fucking great. I called for the money line playoff too.
Hearing a lot of people say that they may be the number 1 team in the country right now, sitting here at 12-0. Northeast basketball hasn't gone anywhere, even if Northeast football isn't quite back or is on its way back. Northeast basketball is all the way back, and UConn. What do you think? Are they the best team right now?
I mean, I think you got to look at Purdue's resume, but UConn's right there. I would say. I mean, I tend to trust UConn more than I do Purdue, just because years of seeing Painter fail. Although Dan Hurley hasn't lit the world on fire in the NCAA tournament either. So that'll be interesting to watch. I mean, that's what's so great about this college basketball season already is it's completely fucking wide open. I was driving the other day thinking about, like, who would my Final Four be right now, spitballing, and I'm like, I got no fucking idea. I mean, I honestly have
you're
no,
right.
it can be everybody.
Trusting Painter. I mean, he did go, obviously, the UVA fan in me remembers Purdue kind of deserving a spot in the Final Four a couple years back.
With Carson Edwards, yes.
Yeah, with Carson Edwards. So, I mean, Painter's gotten close. What's that? Yeah, pull that one out of our ass. But, I mean, could they get there this year? I mean, this does seem like their year. Obviously, Edey is is he in consideration, would you say, for National Player of the Year at this point?
Certainly with the stat line. With the stats he's putting up, I think you have to. Yeah, I think you have to mention him among that group. I know the chat's talking about the Arizona Wildcats.
22-14 or 22-13.7 for Edey right now. Those are big time numbers.
Noah says he's the player of the year right now. Arizona covers for me. Boom. Abilene Christian covers for me. Boom. Tonight was a great night. Started out a little shaky. Oklahoma State hits against Wichita, too. Let's get to game balls and talking about today's action, because these people are sick of hearing us ramble for 40 fucking minutes. My first game ball, I think you got to go. For me, it's going to be Gonzaga. Much like, years past, I guess you could say, they schedule a tough out of conference because they know the WCC is not that great. I think this year the WCC is actually pretty fucking good, but they needed this one today. That's my first game ball there. Gonzaga really needed that. Patty C, who's your first game ball?
I got to give it to Houston. Like you mentioned before, a huge opportunity for them to get a big win before going into AAC play. So one of the last opportunities they'd have to make a statement. And it could be, the difference between a 1 seed and a 2 seed if UVA is right there and they have a head-to-head matchup at the end of the year. So based on, or I guess a similar resume at the end of the year. So a nice win for Houston there.
Yeah, my second game ball is going to go to the San Francisco Dons. I'm going to stay in the WCC. This is a huge win. I mean, UNLV was undefeated, and they battled back from double digits. Tyrell Roberts was a huge get in the portal for the Dons coming over from Washington State. That's a huge win for that program, and it could matter come March. Who is your second game ball, buddy?
I mean, I guess you got to give it to Gonzaga getting back on track. Timmy having the huge game. And, I mean, obviously, if they had taken that L there, that would have been 4 losses early on. That kind of puts them on the outside of a high seed early on. But they assert themselves back into the top 10 race and an important win moving forward.
Yeah, my final game ball is going to go to the East Carolina Pirates because they're the fucking best. And honestly, we need wins like that. And I'll be honest, I haven't been excited about East Carolina basketball in a long time. Going out and hiring Schwartz, the assistant from Tennessee with Rick Barnes. There's a buzz around the program, and we're playing a lot better this year. Even though it's not been consistently, I've been impressed with his first season so far. And a win over South. I know it's just South Carolina, but they do have the number one recruit in the nation. And we should. They're a power 5, or power 6. So give me that win. Fuck you, South Carolina. Let's go. And I think for you, if I was to guess your next one, it'd be North Carolina, right?
I mean, that's a big win. I actually kind of want to give Davidson a shout out in a losing effort, just because that game was closer than that score. 8-point loss to the number one team in the country, but they were neck and neck toward the end. A nice look. And, those are the kind of games that, that help you grow. They're a measuring stick. And I think Davidson played really well there. So hopefully that'll, propel them to a new height as the season progresses.
There we go. Let's go. All right. Now let's get to tomorrow's action. But before that, I want to tell you we're brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, we are back with Underdog Fantasy. And if you haven't signed up already, you can still get a 100% deposit match up to $100 when you use the promo code SGPN. Just go to underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match. Underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN. All right, let's get into this, man, because the slate, it's not going to be what yesterday was, but let's hop into it. 9 a.m. Canisius. Good old Canisius. The Golden Griffins are catching 19 at Penn State. It's a big fucking number. They're 2-7.
Yeah.
Did my man Uwe Blab go to Canisius? I'm trying to remember. Uwe Blab. Did he go to Canisius?
I don't know, but if he did, then I'm rooting for Canisius.
Hold on. I'm trying to pull this up right now.
Uwe Blab has got to be.
He went to Indiana. Who the fuck am I thinking of? There's a big white stiff that played in the NBA in the 80s that went to Canisius. But anyway, Canisius isn't very good. Penn State's been much better than we thought. This is what I mean, is the floor of the Big Ten is better than what I thought it would be. I'm still taking the 19. I'm dying hard like Bruce Willis on the Golden Griffins. What are you doing here, Patty C?
Yeah, it's too many points. I'm on Canisius to cover this.
Western Michigan, the Broncos. They're heading into Ames, Iowa. Some of my favorite fan bases. Low-key, great fan base. They're catching 22.5 in Ames.
This line is moving. Money's obviously coming in on Iowa State. But I mean, the further it gets, the more, tempted I am to go Broncos, but I'm still on the Cyclones at this point.
I'm going
It's a
Broncos.
lot of points, though. You are.
I'm going Broncos. It's just too many. I mean, I don't feel good about this, but I'm taking Western Michigan just because Iowa State at times struggles to score. But Western Michigan does suck ass. So, tough spot here. Howard, the Bison, are taking on the Harvard Crimson. It's a good game. I think Howard's a little bit better than their record. I think Harvard is a solid team.
Howard's sitting there at 5-8.
I have a rule with Ivy League teams. I can't lay double digits. Give me the Bison plus 10. What are you doing here?
I think I went Bison too here. It's close. I mean, Harvard does impress. They for an Ivy League team, they seem to be a cut above the other ones in terms of being able to win big games. But I feel like you're right. I feel like Howard's a little better than the record, so I think they'll cover the 10.
Yeah. William and Mary taking on UMBC. UMBC's laying 7.5. UMBC's playing good ball right now, but William and Mary's been a fucking covering machine for us this year. I'm going Bill and Mary. Let's go. Give me the 7.5. UMBC probably wins. What are you doing here?
7.5. William and Mary's sitting there at what? 4-7, but you said they're a covering machine. I haven't taken notice of it. Yeah, no, I'm on UMBC. I'll take UMBC to cover 7.5. I feel like William & Mary's
like
just
a true UVA fan, like a.
Well, I just feel like they've reverted back to sucking ass. They had that 6'7" forward that had them, trying to get into the tournament, in striking distance of the tournament, which would have been their first tourney bid ever, right? But I'm pretty sure he's gone now. So I feel like they've just slid back to being William & Mary academic nerd school. And I'll give UMBC just based on, obviously, the scar is still there as a UVA fan. So I'll probably favor them most of the time moving forward in games like this.
Yeah. And shout out to the chat. I was not thinking of Rick Smits. I know he went to Marist. I found out who I was thinking
Dutch
of.
boy in the paint.
Yeah, Mike Semrick. He's a Canadian. I played for the Golden State Warriors and the Clippers when I remember him the most, but also played for the Bulls, Lakers, and Spurs. Sure, that guy ate ass because he dominated that life. Yeah, next up, he's from Canisius, though. Mike Smemrick. I don't know how to fucking pronounce that.
I'm still looking up Uwe Blab.
Uwe Blab
17th overall in the 1985 draft.
Dude, me and NC Nick were talking about this. I want to get SGPN has got to get big enough where I can produce documentaries. I want to do a documentary on those tall white. Not all of them are white, but there was like 90% of them were white. The tall white or the tall stiff big man that would just steal money. Money. I mean,
just for being tall.
Oh my God, there's so many of them from 1980 to 2002. I mean, I could probably go through hundreds of names, man. I really could. And they just stole money. Chris Dudley, good defender, just stole money. Terrible. Couldn't score in a gym by himself. You know what I mean? Just an awful free throw shooter. Just stole fucking tons of money. Army heads to Stony Brook, take on the Seawolves. This one's tough. Stony Brook, I actually thought was going to be a lot better this year. They've been pretty shitty. Army is Army. Give me Stony Brook at home. Give me that home dog. I'm
not seeing the spread on that one. What's the spread on that one?
Stony Brook's catching 2 at home.
Oh, give me Stony Brook all day.
Yeah. Look at the chat's helping us out. Dwayne Schniskus, Sean Bradley, Brian Reeves. Yes, I mean we can go on and on and on, man. I'm telling you, the list is so fucking. John Konkak is a perfect example.
Oh, Konkak, amazing. Wait, wasn't Reeves' son playing basketball? Was he on Oklahoma?
He was actually. He was. Why am I drawing a blank on his name?
The stiff.
He was.
I thought he was pretty decent.
Right now, yeah.
Big Country played for who? Oklahoma State.
Yeah, took him to the Final Four. That's right. Oklahoma State Cowboy. Yeah. All right, we got to power through this. People are gonna be like, "What the fuck, dude? You guys are talking about, you're talking about
John Konkak."
Yeah, John Konkak and Brad Lohas. Stanford's catching 10.5 at Texas. Chris Beard suspended. Stanford just won by fucking almost 50 points against Green Bay. Ooh.
Yeah. You got to fade Texas here. I mean, I locked it up the first game. I mean, now that they've had a little time to regroup, maybe they'll be back on track. Obviously, they are looking like potentially the number 1 team in the country prior to his suspension and potential expulsion. But I think fade Texas is on until further notice.
Well, and this isn't in Austin because that stadium gets fucking lit. This is in Dallas at the American Airlines Center. One of these corporate fucking games. I'm with you. Give me Stanford plus the 10.5. You know what? Sprinkle some on the fucking money line. I don't know though. Stanford. Yeah. Give me the points.
What is
Give me
Stanford
the points.
doing here?
They just won by almost 50, but they're
4-6.
Right.
Let's take a look at some of their other performances here. Lost to Wisconsin by 10. Texas is probably better than Wisconsin.
They beat Florida State, though.
They beat Florida State. Lost to UCLA by 14. Lost to Memphis by 8. I mean, it sounds about right. A depleted Texas 10.5-point spread. I don't know though. I think just on the fact that they might not have figured it out yet, you got to lean Stanford.
Yeah. High Point heads to UNC Wilmington. This is a good game here. High Point's catching 7.5, and I will take the 7.5, despite Wilmington being on fire when I went and caught them live. This is an in-state battle. Give me the 7.5 and High Point. What are you doing here?
High Point is the high point of the Big South Conference. I don't know. UNCW, a better team though. I feel 8-2 for High Point though. Is that enough for me to take them? I'll tell you on that one. I'll take the Panthers.
There you go. Northeastern. It's heading to Chicago to take on the Flames. UIC, that is. This one's tough because Northeastern's been just absolute ass for the most part of this year. I'm on UIC -4. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll take UIC as well. I mean, that's another good conference in there at 7-4, but 0-2 within the conference. So Missouri Valley, a tough spot for them, but I think they're pretty good. So I will ride the Flames as well.
There we go. Then we got Robert Morris taking on Mount St. Mary's. I know you're excited for this one, Patty C. These teams both can't shoot, but it actually might be a decent game. Robert Morris is 4-7. Mount St. Mary's 5-6. Last time they played a year ago, Mount St. Mary's won by 4. This is taking place at the Knott Arena. Not gonna work here. Not gonna watch this one. Not gonna watch this one. Mount St. Mary's is laying 4. Give me Robert Morris. I was impressed with them. Like I watched them. What was it against Cleveland State? I think it was. I don't have a great feel in this game. I haven't locked
slow
up
to
shit
warm
yet.
on Robert Morris. I'm on the Mountaineers.
All right. Rhode Island is taking on Georgia State. Can't believe Rhode Island's catching 2 at Georgia State. Archie Miller, I thought you'd be a little bit ahead of schedule. Not the case. I'm on Georgia State -2 here. I don't feel great about it. Rhode Island's been a disappointment this year. It's a bigger project than I think.
4-7.
Yeah.
Let's see. What have they done lately? 2 straight wins. Army and UMass Lowell. Pretty close wins. Couple close losses for them. A 3-point loss to Tulane, 5-point loss to Quinnipiac, 4-point loss to Texas State, a 4-point loss to Boston College, 1-point loss to Brown. They're not that far from being, a 10-1 or a 9-2 team, but they're losing close games. What's the spread on this one?
Rhode Island's a 2-point dog.
2-point
on
dog
the road in hot Atlanta, taking on Georgia State.
I'm on the Rams here. I'm on Rhode Island. I think they're figuring it out, and they can at least lose close. So that's what they've been doing. I figure a little. I don't know though. A 2-point loss would be a push here. So, but I feel like they're the better team.
I will say, look, this is a revenge spot for Georgia State. Rhode Island beat them by 35 last year up on the island. I'm going with revenge. Give me Georgia State in Atlanta. Albany. Great Danes, one of the best names in college sports, the Great Danes. They're heading to Chicago to take on the Ramblers. Ramblers they're waking up a little bit. The first week or 2 of the season, they look like a total ass. Loyola is normally really good at home. I'm going to lay the 16.5 against Albany because Albany sucks ass. What are you doing here?
Albany does suck ass. I'm with you. Although, again, Loyola hasn't been up to snuff this year either. I feel like we're still kind of feeling.
They've been waking up.
The Porter Moser
hangover.
I guess. Yeah, they're getting a little better. So
they just whooped Clemson. Yeah. So
I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'll go Loyola.
I mean, Albany's just pretty bad. It's not like I feel strongly about this. I'm not locking it. But I am considering locking this one. But god damn, the St. Peter's team is hard to understand. Quinnipiac's taking on St. Peter's. I'm going to lock this.
There you go.
Quinnipiac's laying 3.5 points. I could eat shit on this, though. Peters is a weird team, man. I've watched them this year, and they're very unpredictable. Like, certain games, they look really good. Certain games, they look really bad. Quinnipiac, -3.5. They're 9-2. I think they're the class of the MAAC. Well, no, actually Iona. But I think they're going to be neck and neck there. Give me Quinnipiac, -3.5. Lock it up.
Yeah, Quinnipiac's 2 losses, a 2-point loss against Hofstra and a 4-point loss against Niagara. So they're 6 points away from being undefeated. I think you're right. I think you got to go Bobcats here.
Are you locking this?
Sure. Let's make it a lock party.
Yeah. What does he say in Shawshank Redemption? If you came this far, maybe you're willing to come a little further. You remember the name of the school, don't you? It's Quinnipiac. Oh, man. Merrimack is taking on Bucknell. This game is just absolute shit sandwich. Bucknell is 6-4 quietly. No one's talking about the Bison. Meanwhile, Merrimack is total ass. Bucknell's laying 11, though. Fuck, it's a big number. I'm taking Merrimack in the 11. I don't give a shit. I know they suck. I cannot lay 11 points with Bucknell. What are you doing?
2-11 for the Warriors. They do suck pretty badly. Clark was one of their I think both of their wins are against Division II schools. They have lost a bunch of games by a lot of points. So I will take Bucknell.
You know what? I think you're right. I'm just looking at their schedule. Give me Bucknell -11, all right?
I think tide turning, as I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of turn. It's easy to see a tide turn. Did I say those words?
Shout out to George W. Fucking idiot. It's fantastic. Belmont taking on Chattanooga. It's a good game. It's a really good game. Chattanooga's laying 5. I'm seeing signs of life with the Mocs and Dan Earl bringing in Jake Stevens. I almost want to lock. You know what? Let's go there. I'm locking up Chattanooga -5. Belmont's in a little bit of a rebuilding year. Give me the Mocs -5 at home. What are you doing here?
How is Chattanooga? Where is Chattanooga stand right now?
They're 8-3, but they just had a gigantic win over Middle Tennessee.
6-game win streak for him right now.
Yeah, and Dan Earl's first-year coach there. He brought in some of his VMI guys, and I think things are clicking. Buddy.
All right, I'm going to tail it again. Let's go. Lock it up.
All right. Norfolk State. There you go. Patty C locking it up as well. Norfolk State's laying 5 against North Carolina A&T. A&T. Oof, they just played in overtime tonight, right? Didn't I watch them play in overtime? Yeah, that was a great game. They won by 1 against Texas Southern. Yeah, I'm taking Norfolk -5. Norfolk's good. They're good. And they're playing back-to-back because Norfolk just beat Hampton by 12. But I think Norfolk's the better team here. I'm laying the 5. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm riding Norfolk as well.
Elon, the Phoenix, taking on Valpo, the Crusaders. Valpo's laying 9. Elon's fucking terrible. It's hard to lay 9 with Valpo, but at the same time, your boy Dundee is laying the fucking 9. I don't like it. Stay away. What are you doing here?
They are no longer Crusaders, but let's see. 4 and 7. They're not great either. I kind of want to get a quick look at both of their schedules. Shit. 9 out of the last 10, Elon's taken some hard L's. They keep games decently close, though. Well, sorry, what was the spread on that one again?
9.
That's too many. I'm going Elon to cover it.
Going with the Phoenix. Niagara. Taking on NJIT. Niagara's laying 3. Call me Chalk Dundee because I am laying the 3 with Niagara.
You know what? Backpedal on that. I just realized that Valpo was one of the teams that beat JMU, and I respect JMU's program, obviously, at this point. Got to crowbar them in here a little bit. So I'm riding Valpo for the dub.
Well, we're going to crowbar JMU more than a little bit because they are hosting the Shocks of Long Island. JMU's laying 29 points. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's a lot.
Call me an idiot. I know Long Island is terrible. I know this, but 29 fucking points? That's a gigantic number here. I know Long Island's 1-9. I'm well aware of this stuff. I know Rod Strickland's son, because Rod Strickland's the coach of Long Island. He played for JMU last year. Give me the 29 in Long Island. Let's lock that motherfucker.
James Madison, mind you, the ninth most points scored of any team in the nation so far. It is a high-powered offense, and it's one that is capable of covering 29 points. Long Island, meanwhile,
they suck.
Number 326 in scoring in the nation. I'm taking the Dukes to cover 29. Call it a homer bet. Yes, that's what it is. But sometimes you got to have a little BDE, right?
I'm locking the Shocks plus 29. I'm also locking this one. Southern Miss is taking on McNeese State. McNeese State sucks ass. Give me Southern Miss minus 16. Lock it up. Lock it up. Southern Miss. Dude, Southern Miss is a good team this year, man. They're a good team.
I'll roll.
What are you doing here?
Eagles, inspired by Frank Gore's 329 rushing yards. 15.7 yards per rush.
Dominant day by Frank Gore. And I like what he tweeted out after. He said, chill on the transfer portal shit. I'm a Golden Eagle. I like that. That. Detroit Mercy's taking on Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan's the biggest fucking mess in all of college basketball. How do you have Amani Bates? You got a talented team and you suck ass. Give me Detroit minus 3.5. I feel like, chat, should we lock up Detroit minus 3.5? I think we should. I'll keep the locks flowing. Give me Detroit minus 3.5. Lock it up. Let's go.
I'll ride Detroit. I'm not ready to lock a 5 and 6 team. It sounds like a hospital. If Florida International is the airport, Detroit Mercy is the hospital.
I like that. Green Bay, fresh off of almost a 50-point loss in Palo Alto on the farm. Now they go to Corvallis, where, Wayne Tinkle.
Nice beaver.
That's what he's saying at the bars in Corvallis. I'm laying the points. We should probably consider locking this one up. They just lost by 50 almost. And I think Oregon State might be better than Stanford.
Yeah. Hold on. What would you say the spread was at?
16.5.
16, yeah.
Get the SGPN app. This might be a lock tomorrow. I'm just gonna say that it's free to download. In the App Store, Google Play Store. So what are you doing? All right, the locks will keep flowing for me. I know Air Force has played good lately, but Tarleton State and Billy Gillespie are better. Wrong team favored. I'm locking up Tarleton, getting 3 in Colorado Springs. Take the money line, plus 132, folks. Let's go. Petty C, what are you doing here?
Tarleton losers of 2 in a row, getting slapped against 2 good teams on the road, but they lost by 33 to Baylor and then by 26 to UCF. And now that's a 3rd game in a row on the road. They're getting 3. I'm taking Air Force to cover it, buddy.
You fucking highway through the danger zone, motherfucker. You're gonna eat shit on that one. Mark my words. Oakland, the Golden Grizzlies, who can't play any fucking defense. They're catching 20.5 against Boise State. Boise. Colby, you're not saying Boise right. It's Boise. I will take the 20.5 with the Golden Grizz. What are you doing here?
What has Oakland done here? Oakland sitting there at 2-9. Boise's having a pretty damn solid season, 9-2, winners of 8 straight. That is a lot of points, though. I feel like Oakland would typically be able to cover that. So, yeah, I'll go Grizz. Golden Grizz, very Golden Grizz.
Very Golden Grizz. Bethune-Cookman. That sounds like a hospital.
It does.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
Cookman sounds like
I'm having surgery over at Bethune-Cookman.
Cookman sounds like some ancient plantation owner. I don't know. Or
I could see that too, maybe. UTSA, they suck ass. Bethune-Cookman sucks ass. Ugh. I mean, I guess UTSA is a little bit better than I thought. This is at the Convocation Center. Ugh.
UTSA.
Give me UTSA -5.5. What are you doing here? Meep.
Yeah, I'll ride Roadrunners here. Let me see what they've done lately. I mean, losers of 4 of the last 5. Bethune, in the meantime, has done what exactly? I got to get that pulled up.
They suck, too. They're 4-6. They just lost by 12 to Incarnate Word. Actually, you know what? I'm locking up UTSA. Incarnate Word's terrible. And if you just lost by 12 to Incarnate Word...
Yeah, I mean, they both have played Incarnate Word in the last month. Bethune lost by 12 and UTSA won by 6. So I guess if you're using that small comparison, you got to lean UTSA to cover.
Let's go. Southern is taking on UAB. Southern's catching 19.5. I like this Southern team. I really do. But UAB and Jelly Walker, they're real. They're the real deal. I'm laying the 19.5 with UAB. What are you doing here?
Jelly Walker's his name?
He leads the country in scoring.
Fucking
beast. Yeah, he's a fucking beast, man. He pulls up from like fucking half court and shoots all these threes. He's fucking phenomenal.
That's what's up.
Fucking
I'm a Jelly
phenomenal.
Walker.
Check out. Put some fucking jelly on that biscuit there, buddy, because they're gonna cover that 19.5 against Southern. Southern's solid though. Southern's not terrible. I feel like I've been impressed a couple times I watched them. Who are you going with?
Yeah. Well, I'll fade Southern with you then.
There you go. Texas Southern is taking on Hampton. This game they just played last night. Hampton's catching 5. I'll take the 5 and +180. The chat knows I love the Hampton Pirates. I think it's because they're the Pirates. You know what I mean? Mike Leach, big pirate guy, good friend. Rest in peace. And then East Carolina Pirates. You gotta rep the Pirates, man. Let's go.
What is and Texas Southern's done what lately?
Well, they just lost in overtime tonight, right? By 1, I believe. And they suck. Michael Strahan's not walking through that fucking door. They're 2-8. All right.
Hampton's sitting there at 3-8. Not a whole lot better. But
you got to trust the 757, buddy.
It is a long trip for Texas Southern. So, yeah, let's roll Pirates, baby.
Actually, I think this is in Vegas, buddy.
Oh, it's in Vegas.
A long trip. It's a longer trip for
Hampton.
757 in Vegas. Oh shit! Maybe we should fade him. I'm taking Hampton. Buffalo's catching 19 against West Virginia. That's too many points, man. WV's good, but Buffalo's solid. Give me the 19. Give me the 19. What are you doing here?
I want to see WV what they've done lately. Off the top of my head, you're right. That does sound like a lot of points. Huggy Bears got them at 8-2. The losses have been to Purdue. Obviously, that's an acceptable loss, and the Xavier loss. That's still too many points, so I'm going to go Buffalo.
Ride the Bulls, baby. Cal, the Golden Bears. Oh, man. Yes, they play tomorrow. They head to Santa Clara. They're getting 11.5 against Santa Clara. Give me the Golden Bears to cover this. Santa Clara wins.
Sucks.
Oh, they're
Santa
terrible.
Clara covers. Santa Clara covers.
Those fucking hippies dropping acid. They need to start
the
paying
West
attention
Coast
to
Conference. It's still
they need
rolling.
to start paying attention to sports, or their program is going to be gone.
How far is Cal from Santa Clara? It's like a 45-minute. You think who gets up for this game more? I bet Santa Clara gets up for this game.
Yeah, agreed.
Cal's got other sports they can lean on.
Northern Colorado's catching 17 at Colorado. I mean, I like this Northern Colorado team. But is Dion going to be? I need to know if Dion's going to be there or not. I need to know.
This is the battle of former NFL players gone on to be now obviously McCaffrey is gone from Northern Colorado.
Yeah. I'll take Northern Colorado plus the points. So it's a big number. Little brother coming to town. Give me the 17. What are you doing?
Hey, Colorado has been slapping some teams around though. I mean, they beat A&M by almost 30. Beat North Alabama by 24 recently.
Gonna be there. Yeah.
There you go. I mean, you saw the whole the crowd is chanting prime time. It's hyped in Boulder. Give me the Buffaloes to cover it.
Oh, you just done did it. You locking that?
Sure. Let's do it. Lock it up.
Man. Right in
5 versus 5
in the prime time. Right in the primetime thing here, and that means where the fuck is my fucking song? This thing is getting too big. The soundboard is getting it's like a golden corral. It's like there's just too many fucking choices. You know what I mean? Or zero choices.
Look out, just watch him go. Down to Buffalo.
Never a song I thought I'd have see associated with Deion Sanders, but here we are.
Cleveland State's catching 8.5. Whoa. Cleveland State's catching 8.5 against Keli Leaupepe at Loyola Marymount.
It's tough to bet against Leaupepe.
Charles Barkley 2.0. It all comes crashing down. Give me Loyola minus the minus the 8.5.
Wow.
I like this Cleveland State team, but dude, that dude is nasty. I know we joke around, but he really is a fucking baller. He really is a fucking baller. Like,
I mean, how good is Marymount? I mean, are they like a legit, contender within the conference, or let me see.
No,
Marymount.
They can't beat Gonzaga. But I mean,
yeah,
they can play with the other teams. Dude, they beat Georgetown by fucking 18. They beat Wake Forest. They beat Bellarmine. They beat Nevada. Steve Alfred's. They beat Grand Canyon at Grand Canyon. They're a good team.
8-4, and the spread's 8.5.
Leaupepe should be fucking National Player of the Year. All right.
I feel like Cleveland State has been fielding a solid team for a while,
good.
though.
No, they're good. The Vikings are good. Take Cleveland State. I think it's a game.
All right. I'll go Vikings.
All right, game of the night here, potentially. Auburn heads to Los Angeles to take on USC. I don't know about this USC team. I'm laying the 1 with Auburn, and I'm locking it. I'm fucking locking it.
I saw something earlier. Now that they don't have the height they had before, they've had to completely change their style, USC. So I feel like I'm with you. 1.5 seems easily doable for Auburn. I will lock it with you.
I mean, the line almost smells a little bit. Let's go, though. Playing the 1.
What is Auburn's where are they ranked right now?
Auburn is 19th.
19. I think it's
Fire.
8-1.
Yeah. They're going to get this one. USC is not that good.
Yeah, lock it up.
Yeah, Retro Bowl Coach is right. Somebody get me a Leaupepe jersey. Or if you could find him on the internet and message him saying, dude, you need to hop on the college basketball experience. We'd appreciate that.
Dude, we should just go over and catch him after the game. Didn't you say you were at the game and you had like front rows?
Well, I actually said what's up to him, gave him dap, but fucking Stadium, the network, was trying to interview him. So they cut in front of me to interview him. I was going to say, dude, we got to get you on the podcast. So maybe I go to the game tomorrow and just tell him, dude, you're the fucking man. All right.
We need Leaupepe on weekly.
Dude, Leaupepe. I challenge you to watch him. I'm telling you, he's a fucking baller. He's a fucking baller. Like, it started out as a joke when I saw his hair last year. But then watching him, I'm like, the dude is nasty. He's like
Hawaiian Charles
undersized.
Barkley. I'm
He's
assuming
Australian.
he's Hawaiian.
He's Australian, dude. Yeah.
The Australian Barkley.
Fucking baller, man. Notre Dame heads to Athens, Georgia. Notre Dame's laying 1.5. I will lay the 1.5, and I think I might even lock this thing. Get the SGPN app. What are you doing here?
Notre Dame. Sitting at 7-3. I mean, Georgia just lost to Georgia Tech. Granted, that was a close game. Notre Dame losers are 2 of the last 3, but a close loss to Syracuse. I do think I agree with you. At home, that game's in South Bend. Is that right?
No, it's in Athens.
In Athens. Whoa. No, I'm seeing it. I'm not seeing it at. I'm seeing it at Notre Dame on ESPN. But
they're wrong.
You're showing.
They're wrong. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's in Atlanta. It's in Atlanta.
Oh, it's in Atlanta. Okay.
Look, Georgia football does this shit too. They say, "Hey, let's play a neutral site game." 45 minutes from us. You fucking hack. All right.
I'll still take the Irish.
Yeah, me too. TCU is taking on the worst team in college basketball, Mississippi Valley State. I am laying the 32.5, even though TCU struggled with a lot of these schools because Mississippi Valley State sucks ass. Lay the number. Lay the number. Jerry Rice ain't walking through that door. Alcorn State's catching 10.5 at Seattle. It's a fucking far trip, man. It's a far trip. Give me Seattle minus 10.5. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Seattle's a step above. I know the SWAC is just struggles in hoops altogether. So
they're better this year, though. They're better than this year than most years. I feel like.
Yeah, Alcorn 3-7 right now.
But look at some of the losses. I feel like I think they won at Wichita.
You
got to remember these SWAC schools.
Tennessee.
These SWAC schools play on the road for like a month. They don't play a home game until like Christmas.
That's true. That does make it a lot
actually
harder.
A little bit better than their records.
They did beat Wichita on the road. That's true.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm still taking Seattle, dude. This is insane. You're right. They are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7-game road run right now in the midst of a 7-game road trip. It's fucking terrible.
They say with stand-up, most comics, that become complete road monsters, that's what kills them, right?
Yeah.
This is like a stand-up circuit they're doing. It's like they're going all around the fucking country for 2 months.
Right.
And then they come home and they're supposed to be normal.
Right.
So like
their legs are shot. Their sleeping routine shot.
They were just at like a fucking Econo Lodge in Bakersfield. Of course they were doing lines of cocaine off of a prostitute's ass. All right. Central Michigan is catching 11 at Missouri State.
Sorry, you cut out there for a sec. Say it again.
Central Michigan is catching 11 at Missouri State. This one's a little tough for me. I'm going to take the 11. Missouri State struggles to score. Give me the 11, even though I do think Missouri State's the better team. What are you doing here?
11 for Central Michigan. Let me see. Missouri State, both 4-7. Am I looking at that correctly? No, 4-6 for Central Michigan. I am going to take Central Michigan.
Me too. Next up, in one corner, we have Rick Pitino. In the other corner, we have his son. We might not know who the mother is, but we have his son, Richard Pitino. This game's fantastic. It's at the pit where everyone gets laid. New Mexico's laying 2.5. This is the game.
Wrong Pitino favored.
The pit is live, dude. I think
you're
wrong.
You think Rick Pitino is going to get shook? You think he won't have his boys ready? I have learned numerous times already this season, don't fucking fade Ricky P. I'm on Iona, and I'm locking it up.
Oh, well, shit. You know what's great? We'll play it again.
Battle.
Because I'm locking up New Mexico at the pit, where everybody gets laid. Father hasn't adapted to the transfer portal and everything. He's struggling a little bit. You know, he's 70. He might forget who his he might forget some offensive sets. All right, we're almost at the end of this. 4 games.
Luck of
left.
the Irish, you know. Iona's the Gaels. I feel like Gaelic is. Although I feel like Gaelic has some Spain in there. I think that it might even have some France in there. I don't even know what the fuck Gaelic is, but I'm definitely sure there's some Irish in there. And so Rick Pitino has the luck of the Irish.
Dude, when I was in Ireland for a couple weeks, and I was definitely at multiple bars where they had the Gaelic accent, or I couldn't understand a fucking thing. All I know is people were buying me drinks. They're like this 70-year-old fisherman who starts talking to me. He's talking to me in fucking Gaelic, and I can't understand a fucking thing, man.
Dude, you get off the beaten path. My sister, you know, obviously married an Irishman. And she's over there like trying to talk to his relatives who are not city folk, you know, and exactly what you're saying. Different language. Basically speaking an entirely different language.
It was like thunderstorming. So I was like stuck in this bar. I mean, I'm always stuck in a bar, but I'm saying I didn't want to go far to the hotel because we were like pretty far away from the hotel. And I just sat there saying yes to a guy that I did not understand. I said, oh yeah.
You're probably picking up one in every like 4 words or something.
Dude, I couldn't understand a fucking thing. He could have been like, dude, you want to come back to my house? I'm gay, and I'm sitting there like, yeah. Yes. I'm just saying, I didn't know what. The only language I could speak back was buying him a drink. I was just like, you know what? Yeah, have another. You know, and then had no idea what the fuck we were talking about for a solid hour and a half. He had a dog. Every time I was confused about what, like, I would just pet his dog. I would just go, okay, nice boy. Houston Baptist is catching 8 at UT Rio Grande. Oh, I'm all over Rio Grande here. Give me that John Wayne movie.
Houston Baptist catching 8. You're taking Rio Grande to cover. Yeah, I'm with you.
Ryan, I'm actually taking the Lobos, buddy. I'm locking up the Lobos. San Diego, Steve Lavin is catching. Dude, Steve Lavin's catching 12.5 in Tempe against Arizona State.
Friend of the program,
Steve Lavin. You know the Hurleys are like fucking 50-1 this year. Who's better, the Harbaughs or the Hurleys? Apparently, we have a. The Hurleys are on fire.
John took a bad L against Cleveland today.
I'm taking Lavin plus the 12.5. What are you doing here?
I don't know. Didn't Arizona State just take a pretty bad L recently?
No, they have 1 L on their season. That's what I'm saying. It's like the Hurleys are kicking ass.
Or maybe there was a close win that they had. But they squeaked by Creighton. No, you're right. They squeaked by. Man, they've had some close wins, though, recently.
Take the Toreros.
But their only loss was a 1-point loss. That's pretty crazy.
And this is in Dallas. This isn't even in Tempe.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on Arizona State with you.
No, I'm not on Arizona State. You bastard. I'm on San Diego.
You're on San Diego.
Yeah, you said I'm on. Who you taking?
I'm on Arizona State. They have had some close wins, but I still think it 10-1 with 1-point loss on the road versus 6-5, and the spread was, you said
12.5.
12.5. Sorry, I'm all over the place. The freaking tally site doesn't have this up yet, so I don't even know where you're looking to get these spreads. So
you better start thinking about yours, buddy. All right, Colorado State is getting 11.5 at St. Mary's. This is tricky because I don't think Colorado State's as good as they were a year ago, but I'll take the 11.5. I'm thinking St. Mary's wins by 9. What are you doing here?
St. Mary's all the way. Again, West Coast Conference doing the dang thing. So I got to ride with them.
Washington State is taking on Baylor. This game, I believe, is in like Fort Worth, right? Dallas at the American Airlines Center. If it's as shitty as your flights, this place is a dump. All right, they're gonna charge you for fucking everything. All right, don't go to the bathroom and use the water. You might catch a charge. I'm locking up Baylor -9. Let's go. Wazoo's not going to be ready for this. This is still going to be a Texas crowd. Texas tough. Give me Baylor -9. Lock it up.
All the way. I'll lock it up too. Obviously, huge win over Tarleton, win over Gonzaga, win over UCLA. Even the UVA loss on the road was a really close game. Baylor is still Baylor.
Yeah,
this is a gimme.
Let's go. All righty, folks, and that does it for Sunday basketball. Get the SGPN app. I might block up a couple other things. Give Patty C a follow on Twitter at PattyC831. Give me a follow on Twitter at the Colby D. And don't forget the college basketball experiences on Twitter at at TC. No. At TCE on SGPN. I can't fucking talk. I've been drinking a Black Russian over here. Yeah.
What the hell is
Shout
that?
out to that. It's a White Russian, but I didn't have any fucking milk in my fridge, so
What is that?
It's
Just
called
Kahlua?
Kahlua and vodka. Yeah. So yeah, folks, check us out, and we'll be back tomorrow to pick games, same time. So yeah, let's go. Let's keep this momentum going. We'll post his picks to the page. Yes, he should, providing he has internet. He said he was going to. I'm fairly certain he will, Ryan. All right. Thanks for everyone checking us out, and spread the word. Subscribe to the college basketball experience. Subscribe to the college football experience. Subscribe to the college baseball experience with Noah Beanick. Get the SGPN app, and let's fucking rock. I cannot wait to watch some of these games tomorrow. This is the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Spit my darts, you get ripped apart. Save the cookie cutter mutter for 106 apart. Cause of your liquor, will I sip your heart? You never dumb it down, dog. If you're smart, I throw out a couple of lines. Fighters are quick to cross. Fishy, you want a dick to lie. Piss you off, it goes tits and bras, lips and jaws. I use my common sense to see the bitch and all. Good thing you got the market corner. Kids and malls. Grip the bag carpet as you slip and fall off. Another career spear. Thanks for trying tough luck. You get an A for effort and an effort. Shut the fuck up. Here's a hint. Put down the mic, you catch a glimpse. And keep them eyes wide when you see me. Mics, I seize them. So when you see him, you gotta go reason to look. Catch a glimpse.